Is a whiskey made up with the 5 regions of Britain and Ireland better than the sum of its parts, or is it just a disappointing dram? Join me today on the Neckpour as we find out. Hi there, my name is Lewis and welcome to the Neckpour. This is the whiskey review channel where I give you my thoughts and opinions on a particular bottle of whiskey from the Neckpour all the way down to the Dregs. And we're here with one I'm really excited to get into. It's the Patron Saint St Andrews 1888 blend. This is a bottle that was the official whiskey of the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia this summer. And yeah, something I've been really excited to get into based on the price I was able to pick this up for. Without any further ado, let's get this open, have a little look and see what we think. Firstly, comes in an absolutely lovely presentation box. I love the magnetic box. I think it's really, really stylish. And a nice looking bottle. Nice bit of wax on the top. Always pretty good. Plenty of work on there. And obviously being the official bottle, you get the nice sort of monogram of the Lions. And as a big rugby fan myself, I was never going to not pick this up. However, it was 125 quid when it first came out, which put me off slightly. So let's see whether I can get into this wax. I think this could be quite a humbling experience actually, as there's quite a lot of wax on here. And I might have to see if I can get a little tool or something, because that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So bear with me. I've had to call for reinforcements, grab myself a little butter knife, and let's see whether I can get into it this time. Still fairly tricky. There we go. Might have made a little bit of a hash of that. But we are in, and we have the wax seal broken. I think trying to get the rest of the wax off the cork is a fool's endeavour, so we'll leave it as it is. And firstly, let's start with a little listen to that cork. Lovely natural cork, lovely cork pop on that. And let's pour ourselves a little drop. Beautiful light colour on this. Real kind of grassy sort of straw. Nothing more than that. And yeah, I'll have a little talk through while we let that settle in the glass for a moment. But yeah, as a massive sort of rugby fan, as soon as I saw this release, really excited. Thought it sounds like a really nice idea, but not much information online about what was in this, what the distilleries were. Just it was a selection of British and Irish whiskies, one sort of celebrating each part of the British and Irish lines. So yeah, I was excited. Then I saw it was 125 quid for a non-age stated whiskey and wondered if it was a bit of a cash in, as it were, just trading on the fact that it got that kind of official license. And that was almost the last I thought of it, to be quite honest. It sort of disappeared from my mind till I saw a bottle at auction last month. And yeah, was able to sort of snipe round the fringes on this one, pick it up for £38.46, which is a huge discount on 125 quid. And because someone else had already bought it before me, they'd already made the charity donation in my stead, as it were. So the components of this are stated on the back of the bottle, nowhere on the website, which I think seems an odd choice, because as soon as I read what was in it, when it was in my hands, I was even more excited. You've got Penderyn from the Brecon Beacons in Wales. You've got White Peak from Derbyshire in England. You've got Bone from Drogheda in the Republic of Ireland. You've got Ecklinville from Newtonards in Northern Ireland. And then you've got Cameron Bridge in Scotland for the grain part of the whiskey. Obviously, I'm assuming that Cameron Bridge is probably quite a big chunk of it, just because it's so much cheaper to purchase grain whiskey than it is the rest of it. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a barrel of each, because there's 1,888 bottles. So if you're talking 200 each of the others, maybe 500 of the Cameron Bridge, something like that, you're not too far off if you were, that 200, 250 of the rest of them, sort of standard bourbon barrel. And then, a couple of bourbon barrels of the Cameron Bridge, you're in the right sort of ballpark. But as you all know from on here, big fan of Penderyn, like the reviews up there. White Peak, something I discovered quite recently. Tried one of their drams over Christmas and was in my top 5 drams to try for this year. Again, up there. Bone and Ecklinville, I know very little about. I'll be quite honest with you. I'd never even heard of Ecklinville until I looked it up after getting this. And Bone Irish whiskey is not my strong point. It's not my forte, but we'll see what this is like, and maybe I'll be interested to try it. And then Cameron Bridge is just a good quality grain distillery. But yeah, no more messing about. Let's get this up to the nose. Fruity. I'm getting quite a lot of sort of tropical notes here. Mango, pineapple. Almost verging onto a bit of coconut. Maybe coconut sweets. There's a little wisp of smoke just in the background. That's pretty darn inviting on the nose. Let's have a little sip and see what we think. The first thing that hits me is that grain spiciness. First thing off the bat, again, with the Northern Ireland and the Irish whiskies, I don't know that they're necessarily malt whiskies exclusively. They could be pot still whiskies, they could be grain whiskies, they could be unmalted and malted barley. They're all things that you can do in Ireland. But yeah, I get a nice spiciness from that grain. It's really pleasant on the front palate. Then it goes through lots and lots of wood. I'm getting real pencil shavings on this. Little bit of that sort of, and then that tiny little hint of smoke, I'm assuming is coming from the White Peak, is almost like a fresh cut MDF. That slightly woody, slightly bacony sort of smell that you get off MDF, but I'm getting the taste of that. Not that I chew MDF, but it's what I imagine it tastes like. And then I'm getting quite a bit of sort of citrus oil towards the back of the palate. And then moving on to the finish, it just goes sweet, sweet, sweet. I'm getting chocolate, sweet, dark chocolate. I'm getting sort of baked goods, getting croissants, and then it's almost nutty, you know, like a praline, something like that, a marzipan. Really enjoyable. I would just add a little drop of water to this as well. See if we can't coax anything else out. I know I'm not giving this a huge amount of time to open up and breathe, but you don't want to sit here with me all night. It's almost more tropical on the nose with that water added. Almost like a sort of tinned preserved fruit salad, something like that. That wood jumps out even more. And on the palate, we're getting a lot more. That citrus as well follows that up with a real punch, going almost from a citrus oil to like a glass of fruit juice, like a orange and mango, something like that, like a blended fruit juice, but quite a natural fruit juice, not a kind of Sunny D super synthetic thing. And then the finish with that water added. It's sweeter and longer, but almost becoming unnatural. You know, it's getting quite saccharine, quite icing sugary, quite those kind of youthful sweet notes. But yeah, that's a really exciting whiskey. And actually, with that water added, that little hint of smoke is just gone altogether. I'm not getting any of it. It's really interesting. With 46%, great strength to see. But nowhere on the website or on the bottle is the mention of chill filtration or coloration. I mean, based on that colour, it's super, super light. I'll show you again in the up-close footage just here. It is really, really pale, you know. So I think if they put colouring in this, they were crazy to, because you can barely see it. The chill filtration, again, I'm not sure, it's pretty leggy in the glass, but I have been deceived in the past. But yeah, other than waffling on too much further on this one, I would just like to say thank you all so much for joining me here today. It really does mean the world to me that you take time out of your day to spend a little bit of it with me and listen to what I've got to say. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like down below. If you've got any thoughts and opinions on this particular bottling, on any of the distilleries that have gone into this, or there's anything you'd like to watch me review, drop that in the comments down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. If you've really enjoyed the video, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It really makes a huge difference. Other than that, I'd like to again say thank you all so much for joining me here today. And until the next time, cheers, Salancha, and I'll see you again.